Okay, so today we're here with Debbie, and she has just completed the 9 week nutrition course with our Precision Elite Training Coaching. And nutrition is a big part of the journey for most people who are doing health and weight loss and muscle building. And so Debbie's here to share her story live and unscripted today. And we hope you guys really enjoy this. First thing everybody wants to know is who is Debbie? So we're going to ask that question first. Deb, if you could tell us, I've got it down as age, occupation, and family life. Give us a little background on you. Who are you?
Right. Well, I'm 66 years old. I will be 67 in November. And I'm a wife, a mom, a grandma of 14, and we own a tourist camp up here in northern Ontario, where we do hunting, fishing, and family camping. And I'm very busy, passionate about the outdoors, and now I'm healthy and able to do a lot with my grandkids that I absolutely love. And I wish I would have had Lawrence's course 30 years ago, 30 years ago, because I've learned a lot.
That's
So,
awesome. I was listening in there because, again, I didn't even know this. Did you say grandmother of 14?
yes, yeah, I am.
That's a busy, busy family.
Yes, and all of them are here in the summer, so that's great.
Wow. I know
I love it.
a lot of people come into a program to try to get fit, and that's one of their main reasons why they do it is they want to be fit to spend time with their kids or their grandkids. And to have
Yeah.
14 of them pulling on you and asking you to play and run and wow, that is a
And
reason
I do
why.
that. I do. I play with them, I run with them, I ride bike with them. We had a challenge with my grandson this summer about, and it was the triathlon thing, but also the biking and days when I was ready to give up because I haven't been on a bicycle in decades. He said, "No, Grandma, we started it together. We're going to finish it together." And we did it. Like we completed it, and it was so awesome.
That's a
I mean, he's
victory.
12 and I was 66. So,
Yeah, right? It puts the age perspective part on it, but it shows you too that the age is just a number. You're
exactly.
obviously living and feeling probably, what do you think, 10, 15 years younger than your chronological age would be?
I would think so. I
Yeah.
think so. But I don't know. I just enjoy every day as a gift.
That's awesome. What a
A
great
joy.
message for everybody. Very cool. So now everybody who's watching this knows, who you are and what kind of obstacles you might have too, because family and that many people can be a bit of a time pull, right? A lot of people say, well, I'd like to get fit and healthy. I don't know if I have time for all that. I'm so busy. And you're busy. You're very busy. And tell us a little bit about the hunting camps. What exactly goes on? How much does your day get, taken away by the camp? What do you have to do out there?
Well, it all depends on the guests that we have, but we hit the floor running at 7 o'clock in the morning and we're going till sometime, well, during bear hunt season, which it is now, we're going till probably midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that is, we just, our job is to make everybody happy. I'm the happy guru. And with bear hunt, but mostly we have a lot of families that come just because we have an amazing beach. So we have kayaking and paddle boards and paddle boats and canoes and stuff for them to get out on, just to be outside and have fun. And
Hmm.
all of our cabins are housekeeping though, like they cook their own meals. But we have an ice cream night. Too bad on the sugar, I know. But
And,
anyway, no,
that's a good point too. You bring that up, and again, that's something you learned in the course, isn't it? About sugar and about balancing and lifestyle. And without giving too much of it away, obviously we're going to talk about some of that today. But do you feel so much more confident now, having a little bit of balance and knowing that that's not going to make or break your entire life of results? If you,
absolutely. And I'm not sure if this is a time to go into it or not, but what I did is I had the exercise part down pat. I mean, I've done workouts with you and I'm passionate about working out, lifting weights, but it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't working. And basically, like you had mentioned in one of your in the courses that I basically demonized carbs, like they were the bad guy. And so when I started this program, I mean, your very first two sessions was absolutely amazing of drink your water and the reason, like what water actually plays in my body and what I need it for. And then I was not getting my protein. And so now every time that I am busy, I immediately hydrate and protein. And then for carbs, I do smart carbs.
Mhm.
I do the ones if I need long energy, I do the right carbs if I need a spurt of energy. So therefore, it's not even a guilt trip anymore. And I can't believe the energy that I have, the clarity of mind. I don't get that brain fog anymore. That which, that happened, and I thought, oh, I just feel yuck. Um, yeah, no, I it has actually revolutionized my whole life because I'm not too, where it says the micros and the macros and the fibers and the cholesterol. Like I'm not, when I started worrying about that, it kind of confused me and it panicked me. But I've had such amazing results of with just paying attention to water and protein and good carbs that I think some of that other just kind of falls into place.
Mhm.
And sugar, when I do have sugar, like we did have ice cream night last night, and I just have a tiny bit because a little bit is just as much as a lot, right? One taste is it tastes the same. But I did feel actually after that, I just felt ugh.
Did it upset your
So
stomach?
that wasn't good. Yeah. And because like I'm so, the numbers on the scales, I said my scale broke, which actually was a good thing because yes, I was still working and doing a lot. I mean, our lawnmower broke, so I do, 5 acres push mower now. But I mean, I didn't get tired. Shoveling gravel, I haven't gotten sore, but just making sure I drink and drink and drink. Where was I going with this? Oh, I lost my train.
That's okay.
Oh, anyway, for numbers on the scales,
Mhm.
like at first, like the numbers were going up, but the inches were going down. So, like I said, I've lost several sizes of clothing, and I don't know what the scale says, but I've lost an overall 26 inches and feel incredible. Like I feel credible. And I actually listen to my body now. It's so exciting because the last 2 weeks I've actually felt hungry because before I could just ignore food and I wouldn't even feel hungry because my body was so used to not getting the food. Like you said, I was a very poor hunter. My body was saying she's never going to get it. So hang on to everything.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that a lot. Anyway,
That's great. I love that the analogies hit home and they all made sense and kept it fun along the
yeah,
way too, right? That's important. Um, and you were saying, is this the right time to jump into that? I think a lot of people who are watching probably had the same relationship with you when it comes to the scale. You know, that relationship with the scale and worrying about how much you weigh and chasing some what you'd call ideal body weight and trying to figure out, like, I won't be happy until I get to that weight. When the reality is, if you want to get to that weight, like I said, just cut your arm off, and you'll drop to that weight. But is that really where you want to end up? Is that the lifestyle you want? So you talked about it and said that really hit home to you too. Is like I'm not chasing that weight number. It's more about learning and adapting. And then in the first couple of weeks, you noticed the scale was going up a bit, and you freaked out.
yeah,
Remember, you panic
I
texted me.
did.
Tell us about that. What happened there?
Well, I was panicking because I was drinking water, I was eating my proteins, and all of a sudden, and I was feeling amazing until I stepped on the scale. And then I can't believe I went from 0 to 50. Like I was so depressed because I thought it's not working. Like what in the world? But then I noticed that my clothes were looser, and I said this doesn't make any sense to me. And then that's when I talked to you because I thought I can't I can't be so hooked on a number that I'm not listening to what my body actually needs. So yeah, so I think I recommend don't even go to that scale because like
Right.
you said, cut your hair or cut off an arm and you'll lose weight.
Yeah.
But if you want your body to be a healthy, working, well-oiled machine, you have to feed it what it needs. Like I wouldn't put oatmeal in my car.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna make sure that my body gets the water or the hydrated and the protein that I need and the good carbs that I need because I know how my body feels. I'm just listening to my body now.
Yeah.
And that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
I
I
love
wish
it.
I knew this years ago.
I think back to when you talked about it, when you first came into the course, you did have a lot of workout experience. You had been working
Yes.
out before. We had even seen you train in the gym before and boot camps and things you were doing. The style of training, did you do any training during this course? Because it wasn't required. Remember, I had said at the beginning, this was just nutrition journey, and everything you were to experience was about nutrition. Were you working out heavily on the outside of this to accelerate things, or were you just living your normal day-to-day life and all the hunting, camping, and stuff?
I was just living my normal day. And actually my grandkids and I did do like we did a plank challenge that we got up to 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And then we were doing a bicep tricep curls, but not my normal winter workouts or anything because I wanted to see what nutrition alone would do. And there was a point in there where you said, like you never can spot lose weight. It's just that you can encourage movement in those areas. And so like, I had my big belly but I was, and I just would do twists and, isolate those type of muscles, to maybe get the blood flow going in there. But I know I didn't do, an intense, rigorous workout routine that I had done before
Hmm.
because before when I did something like that, I got really good results, but it didn't last and I couldn't maintain it. And as I got older, that didn't work anymore.
Right. So many people hit
So,
that wall, that plateau, where you're working out for so long and the results just seem to stand still or even diminish. You're putting in the effort and it's going the other way. When you came into the course, would you say you were quite the under eater?
100%,
Mm.
like a minus num under eater
Yeah.
because I thought the less you ate, the more my body would use up all the reserve. But
Mm.
the problem is I wasn't fueling it so it could actually work to remove anything because it was holding on to everything because I I was a poor hunter. You said your body, you do work and you feed your body and then it says, okay, I'm going to get food, so I'm not going to hang on to it. Well, it was hanging on to everything because it was afraid it was going to starve.
Yeah, it's so true. That's awesome. And I think this is a great lesson, for everybody. And of course, we always recommend take the course, get the information. And like you're saying, you wish you could go back 30 years and take the course. And, it's the reason that you got the results now, but it's also the reason
Absolutely.
it's the reason you'll get to keep them as well, because you've learned something. It wasn't a magic pill. You had to earn it. You had to learn it. And that's where you've now, you've adapted this. So what does the lifestyle look like for you and the family now? Is everybody eating in accordance with Deb, the new 2.0 version? Or are you on your own doing this with no support? Everybody else is still, doing their own thing.
No, I'm incorporating that into everything and in encouraging. I mean, when our grandkids were here for the summer, like we ate healthy. Every once in a while I made pizza or cinnamon buns or we had was desserts, but everybody felt great, um eating the same as I am because I think if I would have isolated myself, then that maybe makes it more of a beacon that this is a temporary thing,
Mm.
but it's a lifestyle. And if you live a healthy lifestyle, the ripple effect, it's going to filter down to everybody. So if I'm saying that this is just for me, and then before what I would do, and a lot of people say this, I was good to gaze, so I get a cookie.
Mm.
So it's basically what I've done is I've changed my relationship to food. It's necessary for the function of everything in my body, but I don't have to use it as a reward. And like, because you hear that a lot, like
Mm.
I was
Absolutely.
good today, so I get ice cream, or I was good today. No, I'm planning ice cream in my diet, in my food intake, but it's not because I was good. It's because I want ice cream and I'm going to make it work. That kind
Hmm.
of a thing. So it's
Right.
just changing my relationship with food and also for everybody around me that you don't have to use it as a reward. because then that's quick eat a lot because I might not get any more. But yeah, so
Ah,
that's the way it is. Everybody's benefited.
that's a good point too. When you do get into those types of foods, like you said, you're very quick to eat a lot of it because you're kind of cramming it all down, and it's very highly palatable, very tasty, those sugars, and they're very addictive. So it's easy to get caught up in that. Once you have that one or two bites, you're fully engaged. So you've gotten past
Yeah.
that now. You can have a snack and not end up falling victim to an entire bag of something, or however it is, an entire tub of ice cream. You can deal with a small portion, plan for it, and feel, would you say, no guilt at all?
No guilt, none whatsoever. I had ice cream last night with bananas on it, and I actually ate it really slow because actually my taste buds are not, they're not used to the sugar rush. And so it wasn't as
Yeah.
it wasn't as enjoyable as I thought it would be. That's too bad.
Yeah. And like you said, it did upset your stomach because there's a new microbiome, there's a brand new palate, there's a lot of things that are changed in your body now that you've nurtured over
Yeah.
9 weeks. And let me ask you this, 9 weeks, how long did 9 weeks feel in the course?
It didn't feel long at all.
Pretty
Not
fast.
really. No, it went almost too fast.
Yeah.
But it was because there's so much to absorb. I mean, what you covered is way more than what I could even share right now, and I'm sure I could get more out of it, taking it, doing it again. But I think that it went really fast. When you think of a whole year of your life and 9 weeks to change the rest of the year of my life is what it's doing, and years to come, it's very, very short. Like
Yeah.
I just appreciate the way that you are so encouraging and you say, don't worry about it. Just be nice to yourself. Everybody messes up, but that doesn't mean that I total wallow in it and then totally destroy my body because I feel sorry for myself. I think that's what made a difference for me. It's like, okay, yeah, you didn't get it right, but keep working at it.
Hmm.
And and the whole thing, it took 21 days for my body to realize that it doesn't have to hang on to everything. That it was so right because I was expecting an instant fix again. And I did. I was losing inches, but I think when my body finally realized that it's going to get the protein and the water and I'm going to take care of it. It realized that okay, we don't have to hang on to all this stuff anymore because it's old junk. Now she's going to give us good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
If that
right.
makes sense.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah, spring
Right.
cleaning. Yeah.
You clean it out, make room for some new stuff. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And that's really a learning process, but it takes time to develop that part of it. And that's why you said you noticed after giving it that first, 21-day approach, it feels like you're set up for success now as you can implement this and make it more of a ongoing lifestyle. And I think that's the part most people miss because they're chasing that quick fix reward. Like you said, in the beginning, you wanted to see those results right away. And that's why most people opt in for the extreme calorie deficit approach or, drugs that might give them, usually just ending in caloric deficit one way or another. And usually losing muscle is probably the main outcome, which is not what we want to do. We want you to sustain your muscle mass and be strong. So obviously you still have day-to-day tasks you have to do. Do you feel like you got any stronger just through nutrition alone? Is that possible?
I I'm not sure. I would say yes. I mean, I spent the last 4 days shoveling gravel
Hmm.
and I have not gotten sore at all. So maybe I'm just being conditioned for it, but I've had more energy, more clarity, more get up and go. So
Hmm.
and maybe more strength. But
Right.
yeah,
And
I don't know.
one thing that we learn in some of the other courses that we talk about is with strength training, the most important part of it is the recovery, right?
Yes.
So
Which
when
is
you're
protein and water.
right, yeah, when you're healing, you're resting, you should be getting good sleep, getting a good night's rest and recovering. And so if you're healing better, you're technically able to get stronger, even though you're not specifically going in weight training. Weight training would accelerate it even further, but just your daily
Yes.
tasks, right? So you're out there shoveling gravel and you're hauling things around and then you're sleeping, resting and nurturing the recovery. therefore getting stronger, which I think is pretty darn cool. But tell everybody who's listening about your sleep. Was it bad coming in? Was it good coming in? Were you experiencing hot,
I would,
cold? Like, what was the difference?
well, I would say when I first came into it, I was waking up a lot at night. I'd wake up, wasn't the first bit of it would be a deep sleep because we work so hard. But I think after the first 3 weeks, I would, it was easy to fall asleep. I stayed asleep and I slept like a dead rock. But, and I woke very refreshed, very get up and go. And like, I don't have to have a cup of coffee to get going, or I never did, but I mean,
Hmm.
I didn't feel sluggish in the
Beautiful.
morning at all.
That is good.
So,
Yeah, that's recovery. I love that.
anyway,
Very nice. Yeah, and I know a lot of people struggle with sleep. They don't know why they're not getting good sleep. They're lacking energy. So much of what you've learned, I think, is what you're saying is coming from that nutrition base that you just, you didn't know you didn't have before in place because the knowledge wasn't there. But we always say the knowledge is really not the power until you use it. It's just potential power until you apply it.
yeah.
So in your application, and it takes time. So over the course of 9 weeks, you gave yourself some grace and some leeway, right? And you were able
Well,
to.
not at first. I was pretty hard on myself because I thought, am I not going to get this? But then it just clicked that anytime I do anything, hydrate and protein, and then because even when you sleep, like you say, your body is repairing what is done during the day. And if it doesn't have the protein or the hydration to even do that process, that's like running an engine without oil.
Mhm.
And that's kind of, I don't know, it just clicked for me.
Yeah.
And I learned so much that I wish I would have learned before. And carbs, like I thought carbs were absolutely horrible things, but
Mhm.
they have their place.
Right. I
So
remember you saying, "Oh my God, that was like the light bulb moment where it went off, and you thought this week was so valuable." I think every week we went through, and you were like, "Oh my God, this was the most valuable week," and then the next one came, and you're like, "Oh my God, this one's the most valuable week." Like it just it kept being that moment until we got really towards the end. It got deeper into the breakdowns, and like you said, it's more that part of the course is for the ongoing long term of it all to really, and like you said, most of that falls into place if you got the first 4 weeks or so really dialed in. So those
yeah,
first 4 weeks are really critical. And then after that, the finer details fall into place. And it's just about educating and knowing, right? So
yeah.
I wanted to hear about if you've received any compliments or encouragements from family. I know you've got a couple of daughters as well who've been
Oh yeah.
fitness. They've taken the fitness route. Some of them have tried different diets. Some of them have tried fitness, some not. Just give us a background on what the daughters have thought of your journey.
Oh, they've definitely noticed it. And actually even our guests, we have guests that have been coming here, year after year after year,
Okay.
and just commented that this year, like, wow, you have way more energy. Like you're going, or, they say Benjamin Button. I don't know if you know that movie, but anyway, they said, "Are you a Benjamin Button?" Like you're more energetic and more busy and athletic than you were when we were here 10 years ago. So
Wow.
so that
That,
that was encouraging.
that's a
And of course,
huge.
then I say I finally had a light bulb moment where I stopped demonizing carbs and I understand now more how my body's supposed to work.
Hmm.
And like I said, I wish I would have known it before. So
Yeah.
now I'm telling my daughters and my grandkids and my friends and guests. I mean, if they say something, that's when I say something because I don't want
Yeah. Yeah, you're not running around
to.
being the person pushing this on everybody because as we know, everyone comes in their own time to realization that they need to work on something to better themselves. But the reason for that, can come from many different sources. And having
Yeah,
14 grandkids and a busy job and all this other stuff, and the fact you were working out and kind of hitting that plateau feeling was, I need something different. I need that barrier breaker. And I'm glad that this was that for you. It's part of the reason we're having this conversation today is because you did so well. Like you said, 26 inches lost, and we're not even sure how many pounds because the scale got dropped and broken. But we weren't really worried about the pounds as much as the way you feel, the energy you have. And you said you're the happiness guru around the camp. So it's really improved your job ability as well, hasn't it? If not making you
yeah,
more money, it's making the more positive experience at least for the
yeah.
guests, right?
Yeah. And my husband's happy too, because I'm happier, right?
Happy wife, happy life is what I hear. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. I just like the happy wife part.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so I only had a few other questions that were on the list, but we've talked a lot, in answering most of those. Were there any specific takeaways that we didn't talk about that you wanted to mention to anyone if they've kind of like thought about nutrition but didn't understand its full value, and maybe they're thinking, how much was it? Was it really expensive? I always try to tell people, what is your health worth more than the cost? The course is less than a university course, yet you probably feel like you learned as much as you would have learned in a university course of educating your health of your body. I say that, modestly. I'm not saying it's equivalent to any nutrition university level course, but
Mm.
the application of what you took to you, how valuable was that? Was it worth the investment?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Mm,
Though I didn't know it going into it. I didn't know because I thought, oh, great, just another course that's just it'll be information in, information out, and things are gonna stay the same. But the way that you explained things about how, what we need for our body and how our body works and why we need that, why the whole why and wherefore and all that, it made so much sense because seriously, I've been into fitness and stuff for years, decades actually,
mhm,
but nobody ever explained it the way that you explained it, and it made so much sense. And I thought they should tell high school kids about this because it's definitely, we just don't know about our bodies, right? And what it does need. And then all the diets out there say, well, eat less and exercise more.
mhm.
But that's what I was doing, and doing it wasn't doing a thing, except what I was doing is, yeah, I'd lose and then gain a little bit more back, and I wasn't even trying. I was really watching. But the problem is I didn't have the right formula for that. And so
Right.
definitely it was definitely worth it. Oh yeah. I
That's
would do it
awesome.
again. Even knowing what I know, I
Yeah.
would do it again
Perfect.
for
I'm gonna
sure.
have to get level 2 ready for you. That's
I didn't
awesome.
know there was a level two.
Well, again, like I say, it takes time to really implement level 1. Level 1 is the real deal. It's everything that you need to know to really change your life forever. As you've just said, your total testimonial is exactly what that course is about. And that's just 9 weeks. Imagine a university course. How long are those? Usually 4 years, 6 years, of university learning to become, certified in whatever it is you're doing. I would say you're certified now to show someone how to have a really good base health nutrition for their life. And you could teach that to your family. That's you're going to save everybody the money, of having to take the course and learn it. You're now that spokesperson for the entire family. And I love that
Oh.
they're all on board with that, because a lot of people feel alone in their journey. Was there a sense of community in the course that you felt was motivating or you needed, or didn't really make the big difference? It was more about what you were learning.
Oh no, definitely not. I like the others, like mostly Marilla, like I
Mhm.
was with her on most, and your encouragement, and her and I were going through basically we were the same thing. Neither one of us were eating. Both of us were very active.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it was nice to know I wasn't by myself in this.
Right.
And your encouragement, I think that's the accountability and the encouragement and the accountability
Mhm.
made a huge difference in it just as I was learning it. I think now it wouldn't, not that I don't need you much, but I mean, but I don't. I feel like you have actually empowered me
Mm.
to keep going on this. It's not something that I'm doing just because you say to do it. I know I know how I've been affected by it, and I know the value of it. So, but
Love it.
yeah, the sense of community and your accountability and encouragement was incredible. Yeah.
Thank you, Deb. I love it. I love it. Again, it's just so honest hearing it come from you. I know we've had many back and forth conversations, but to get it today where the world can hear your conversation and get to listen in and be inspired by you, knowing, your age, your lifestyle, your family life, your work life, your energy now versus what it was. I mean, it's all so real, and I just love that. And we've had a good communication throughout the journey too. that's part of the coaching, in which I always say a program is just a program until the coaching kicks in. And like you said, the accountability, the check-ins to make sure there was some homework at the end of a session, something you had to go and actually apply and learn. And because
Yeah.
I think that's where you learn the most is in the hands-on. You've got to take
Yeah.
action, right? Never leave the information on paper. Turn it into action, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you've got a journal you could probably show everybody, like check this out,
I do.
a whole book of
I
notes you
do.
took. And that's pretty cool
I,
too, because you'll always have
yeah.
that for life, right?
Yes. Yeah, for
Save it.
sure. Because I did. I recorded at the beginning of how hard it was to get my water in, get my protein in, like 122 grams of fiber of protein. How can I do that? And
Right.
then now it like after the first 2 weeks, it was well, 3 weeks. I would say 3 weeks was the turning point. It was so easy to do that I didn't even have to think about it anymore.
Hmm.
So, and yeah, and I put what I was feeling when I was eating. And I, even though I didn't get it in my fitness pal all the time, I could record it and say this, 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 and your bites, licks, and taste, like those things. I thought if you take a bite, if you take a lick, if you take a taste, those don't really count. Well, they do, and they do make a difference. So,
Yeah. So there's an
yeah.
accountability there.
Anyway,
Yeah, we had some good laughs along the way with the BLTs.
yeah,
Lots of funny times and analogies, but I think that that's all part of that journey too, and that's that experience in taking a course is having that communication open enough that you can feel free to answer or whatever you're feeling, share your experience. Tell me when it's hitting the fan and you're losing your cool, and then tell me when you're absolutely light bulb moment kicking in and just feeling on top of the world. And it shows that it's a real life journey. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be ups and downs, but once you get it and you learn, it sounds like you've really honed in, and it's going to last a lifetime. I'm super proud of you for
yeah.
that. And yeah,
And I
anything else?
appreciate you being patient with the bad moments. Like, what? I'm gaining weight and I'm doing what you said.
Mhm. Yeah, this isn't
Patience,
working.
Debbie, patience.
Yeah, it does test you. It tests your willpower. It tests everything, right? But that's life.
Yeah,
And
it
when
does.
we get challenged, we grow. It's opportunity. So yeah, I'm super stoked. And again, thank you for being willing to do this and share your story with everybody.
You're welcome.
It's so good to get to see you and talk to you. And here's another thing too. Anyone who's thinking about the technology part of it all, Deb, we had to do some Facebook Messenger while we're doing Zoom to get you on the call because you lost internet a few times. Because where are you located in the world? You're up around Winnipeg, Canada, or
We're close to, well, no, we're kind of in between Winnipeg, Manitoba and Thunder Bay, Ontario, but we're 2 hours north of the Trans-Canada Highway. So
okay.
we're up. You go, I tell everybody you go to the middle of nowhere, and then a little bit further, here we are.
Oh, there you go.
So we're 18 hours from you, like from Sudbury. We're
18
18
hours.
hours from Chelmsford, yeah.
Isn't it cool that we
So
can train together 18 hours away?
absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because if you had to pay for me to fly out to you, it'd be a lot more expensive than taking this course.
But you would have so much fun.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'd be out there kayaking and enjoying the plank challenges with you and triathlons with the grandkids. That's
That's
awesome.
right.
Right on. So that's everything. That's all we wanted to cover today. Was there any last thoughts or anything that you can think of that we didn't share? I know we talked about clothing size. You mentioned like
Yeah. No, I just think like what I would say for people is to be patient with yourself and be nice to yourself. And it's a like taking your course. If I'm hoping that they do take your course, but just to be patient and give yourself grace. And that's what I didn't do at the beginning because I wanted immediate results, like yesterday. But just to be patient and absorb the wisdom and go with the flow, and yeah, apply it to your life, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
awesome. And then now that you could take what you've got nutritionally, would you feel like the next time you go to do weight training, you're going to reap so much more benefit? Do you genuinely feel that difference now? You're going to have more energy for the workouts, but your repair, your recovery, and your ability to feed and fuel those muscles and repair and protein based, Do you feel like the results will be so much better that it's almost exciting to get back to weight training when the camping and stuff kind of dies down and you can get back to your regular routine? Do you feel
Oh,
that?
absolutely. We've already started planning a kettlebell challenge. There's a group of us, and I think now what I've done, because, well, I didn't say before, I said 26 inches, but I went from a very snug 14 down to a very, very baggy 10. I don't have an 8, so so.
Okay.
But I think the more, and I'll definitely have more energy for my workouts than I did before. And like I say, I'm already planning it. And so we're doing a challenge. And then even my grandchildren, like Virginia, Fort McMurray, Alberta, and down in well, up here in Red Lake. So we're all going to do a challenge together.
Okay.
So yeah, we're just,
Okay.
each one of us gets to pick what challenge. Mine's the kettlebells, and someone else is
Okay.
doing I don't know. I hope they do the plank. I've got that one down.
Subliminal messaging out to the family who's watching this right now. Somebody
Yeah,
pick the plank
exactly.
challenge. I
Exactly.
think you said you're at 3 minutes and something. That's pretty darn good.
3 minutes and 16 seconds. My grandson and I started that together. And at first, when we started, we maybe did, I think it was 10 seconds. And then we added 10 seconds every time that we did it. Except toward the end, when it was 3 minutes, it was like more like only 5 seconds.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was shocked that I could do that.
It's amazing.
Really, I was.
Yeah.
And my grandson he's not 10 now, and he can do a one-handed push-up.
No
He's really
way.
muscular. Yeah,
That's awesome.
one-handed. Because my
Good.
son said, if you could do a one-handed push-up, you can go whatever with me. Not thinking he could do it. He
Wow.
could do 4 of them like in a row.
That's
I'm pretty impressed.
That is super cool. I love that. And just while we're on it, I could talk to you for hours because you're such a positive soul, and I love your energy. And it made me think of where he talked about they should teach this in high school. They should teach this to the kids so they understand it. I think even elementary school, although the kids wouldn't be ready for it, the parents should be educated enough to send the kids with good snacks, and good food to bring to school so they can start nurturing early instead of creating this early diabetes and all these other high processed food, sugar type diseases we're getting. But just in relation to your grandson who's got this crazy strength, is he already on what you'd call like a whole food, healthy style of eating? Is he eating in coordination
Absolutely.
with, yeah,
Yes. Yeah. My son and his wife, they're very much very healthy, whatever. And my daughter Jessica, who has well, soon to be a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, they're very healthy snacks. But the kids, it's interesting. They don't want the sweet, sweet stuff.
mm,
Like we had candy here at camp, or somebody brought some, but their response to that was, no, thank you. And they had an apple.
wow, there you
I thought,
go.
oh my goodness, that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think if when your body he has it gets that sugar fix, because like you said, it loves it. When you're used to it, you need it, or your body craves it and wants it. But if you don't have it, it's like, I think it would take me a while to get back into having a lot of sugar.
Right.
So it would almost be like someone forcing you to eat vegetables. It would be forcing me to eat a lot of sugar, and which is, yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
But
not something you see
no, they're very
happening.
healthy. Yeah, I really like that. Even my daughter with a 2-year-old, like she reads the labels for everything. And she doesn't let like Max, her son, have like sugars, or even different oils, or
Right.
preservatives, or
Wow. Yeah.
that kind of thing. So
That's
yeah,
so
we're
good.
getting a healthy family here. We might be around for a while.
I love it. I'm so honored to get to be a part of the journey too, to watch, everybody gain, good, nutritious gut health and energy levels, and watching the kids, partake in this active, healthy lifestyle is so different from the kids who are in their, basement with a video game or a tablet and eating processed sugary foods. And the parents don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to fix this. And they could get educated on the nutrition and really start turning things around in the household. That can really make for a better environment. So I love your environment. I love that you've brought all this energy and great,
And role models are definitely the way to be, instead of just telling your kids. It's modeling it, right? So if they don't see you doing it, it's a double standard then, and that doesn't work.
that's a good point. Really good tip. Hey, I'm glad we went there for a little extra time on the chat today, because that might be the thing that people take out of this the most is like, yes, that's what it is. I got to be a role model and not an enabler, by bringing those candies in. I was guilty of that too with my own son, bringing in like gummy worms and things like that, thinking I'm doing this good thing. I'm the super dad. He loves these things, and really only feeding into his poor health if that was going to be the outcome. And he chose to get away from that too, just like your grandkids were saying, we don't want that. No thanks. That's
Yeah.
pretty strong-willed of them to say that, but they're realizing the value of being
Mhm.
healthier and like you said, brain fog and all the other stuff you've overcome. So super happy about
Absolutely.
that. You've answered every question that I had for you, and you even threw in extras for the listeners. So that's awesome, Deb. Thank you so much. And listen, today is August 23rd of 2024. And today's my birthday. The greatest gift that I can get is somebody changing their life through some information and that I can pass along, because I changed my life 20 some years ago, losing 80 pounds for the very first time and overcoming depression and everything else I had ever been through. To be able to take that information now and share that back to someone like you, Deb, and watch you use it to change your life now and then pass that along. It's literally the pay it forward. That's the greatest birthday gift I could get. So thanks for doing this with me on my birthday.
You're very welcome. Happy birthday.
Awesome. All right. So I will let you go. Thank you again for that. And for everyone watching our episode today on the testimonial series here, you've got a chance to meet Deb and hear her story firsthand. So I hope that we've inspired you and look forward to the next one. We'll talk to you guys again soon.